Hey, it's Luke. A lot of people have a tough time when they're starting with voiceovers, or even just recording vocals for music. With the background noise being too prominent in the mix, they want to get rid of that background noise. They don't know how to do it. A big part of it is the microphone you choose will affect it. If the room is treated, will affect it. But a lot of people don't have a treated room. They don't have access to a whole lot, of differences in microphones or whatever. So if you're using a dynamic mic, that will make a big difference. They don't pick up background noise as much. Condenser mics, I find, sound a lot nicer for most, for voiceovers, but they do pick up a lot more background noise. Here's a little trick that I use all the time when I'm doing voiceovers. It's making use of the gate plugin in your DAW, and most DAWs should have this. I know in Ableton, I don't think it's in the intro version, but there are free. If you just search for a free gate plugin, they're pretty easy to find. And basically, this is what we're looking at. I just recorded a quick, just a one-line thing. This is what we're working with here.
In a world where floor noise is real.
So what most people will do, they'll start with that, and you don't really hear a lot of the background noise because it's not that much. But once you start compressing it, and a lot of the time you'll use compressors on your vocals, especially on voiceovers. You want to just even out the levels a little bit. And this is what happens once you hit the compressor on here.
In a world where floor noise is real.
You can hear a little bit more, especially if you're listening with headphones, you can hear a little bit more background noise. You'll hear stuff in the background. You'll hear little sound, just mouth sounds, and the compressor will boost that quite a bit.
In a world where floor noise is real.
So basically what we want to do is we want to get rid of that background noise, and what we'll use is a gate. So what a gate basically does is it's basically like a gate, like a front fence at your house. It lets, when it's closed, it doesn't let stuff in, and when it's open, it lets stuff through. So what a gate will do is below a certain level, if the sound's below a certain level, or if it's above a certain level, it'll let it through, and you decide below a certain level, it'll just cut it out or reduce it. So this is what we're going to do here. If I turn on we'll listen to it again without the gate.
In a world where floor noise is real.
And you can even see here at the bottom, you can see that there's some extra noise here. So once we turn on the gate, we've got this.
In a world where floor noise is real.
So you can tell the mouth noises, the floor noise, everything is gone. And you can actually see it pretty well
where
here.
Floor noise is real.
So everything below this line here. So you can work
with...
In
a world where floor noise is real.
You'll deal with the threshold. So
in a world where floor noise is real.
Here it's cutting out too much, because as soon as it goes below that level, it's cutting it. So we don't want...
In a world where floor noise is real.
And then if we bring it too low...
In a world where floor noise is real.
It's not doing anything. You can tell it's just letting everything through. So you can sort of see it here.
In a world.
This is where we want to be dealing with with the adjustments here. So we'll bring the threshold up. Let's try it just here.
In a world where floor noise is real.
You can really tell the difference it makes right away, right?
In a world where floor noise is real.
You can sort of tell at the end of In a World, you can tell it cuts it a little bit too close.
In a world where floor noise...
It cuts it a little too early. You can play, you can play around with the settings and we're just going to do a quick thing here. So I'm just going to raise it just a little bit.
In a world where...
Still a little bit.
In a world where floor... In a world where floor noise is real.
It might make...
In a world where...
I'll raise it a little bit.
In a world where... In a world...
Actually, no. See, I've been raising... we got to drop it. It's been a long day.
In a world where floor noise is real.
So now we're hearing the D in a world.
In a world where floor noise is real. In a world,
Some of these little things get through, and those can be dealt with differently. You can do some adjustment to you can do some automation, you can do whatever. But
in a world where floor noise is real.
so you can really tell if we remove the gate now.
In a world where floor noise is real.
You can really tell all the background noise. I'm noticing that
In a world where
might be a little bit too aggressive. We might want to reduce it just a little tiny bit more. Just the world just doesn't.
in a world where floor noise is real. In a world where floor noise is real.
So and then here there's the floor, and whichever DAW you're using, whichever gate you're using, it'll have similar. It might be called something different. It might be there might be some features that this has that the other ones don't, or the other way around. But what the floor will do is it decides how much it lets through. Like if we go to infinity here, you'll notice it just cuts completely. Like when it's cutting it, you'll notice it's a lot harsher.
In a world where floor noise is real.
It cuts completely. But the problem is with cutting it completely is it doesn't sound natural on voice. So you always, a lot of the time you'll want to have it. Depends on what you're doing. You might want to cut it all out. You might want to leave a little bit in. If we go to the other end here, it's not doing.
In a world where floor noise is real.
See, that one's not doing anything, right? Because we're not reducing it by anything. So let's say we do, let's do 20 dB around there, 22.
In a world where floor noise is real.
So you can sort of tell with this one that it's got some little clicks that we'd have to fix up. But basically, you can tell that it's a little bit more natural. It's not cutting everything. Even if we do, let's do a little bit less, like maybe 10 around there somewhere.
In a world where floor noise is real.
See, so it's reducing that noise, but it's still there a little bit, and it's just less jarring to have a little bit left in. But you can adjust what you need. You might want to go the other way, where you cut it out and you put just a little bit of room reverb, just so it sounds more natural. But it's always nice to have a little bit of that sound coming through, so it's just not as intense. Of course, it's different if you're recording vocals and they're going to be covered with music and everything. You might want to go to the other extreme, but you can play around with the settings. And basically, and what you absolutely want to do is put this gate before the compressor, because if we were to put it after, it'll probably sound weird. I haven't tested this, but
in a world where floor noise is real.
See, you're hearing a little bit more stuff coming through because you're compressing the signal, you're boosting the signal, and then you're cutting it. So the gate should be way at the beginning. If possible, have it as the first thing in there. So you're basically removing that floor noise before you do anything to the sound, any EQing, any whatever. So
in a world where floor noise is real.
So that's how you use a gate, and you can play around with the settings and adjust how long it stays open, whatever, with these buttons here. You can do the flip to figure out exactly what's getting cut. It basically just does the reverse. So what would usually get cut, you're hearing. So that could be good to figure out where to put your levels. You could do some automation. You could do a whole bunch of stuff, but basically using this as a base will make a big difference in your voiceovers. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video.